reading a story, and this story is in the curriculum called Literature in the Garden. And I am a master gardener with the Idaho University Extension Service in Canyon County. My name is Mrs. Bowers, and today we're going to be reading the book, the fun book, Tops and Bottoms. And so I want you to notice this book cover. Look at this. This is the Caldecott seal, and this is when you have these, you know you have a really good book. They won an award. Every year they have a Caldecott award, and this one won. And also another really good book that you can look for are Newbery Award winners. And then you know when you have one of those, you know that they are really good. So we're going to read Tops and Bottoms, and this is a trickster tale. So you should have learned this in school, what a trickster tale is. And so we're going to read the story and try to figure out what a trickster's tale is. And I want you to notice one thing about this book. I want you to notice something different. Do you see what's different about this book? I'm just going to let you try to figure it out, and you can talk among yourselves. But this is called Tops and Bottoms. And look what we have. We have carrots, we have beets, we have radishes, and we have lettuce and celery. And so we're going to be talking about tops and bottoms. And on these bottoms here, I want you to figure out, being Idahoans, what is missing right here. Once upon a time, there lived a very lazy bear who had lots of money and lots of land. His father had been a hard worker and a smart business bear, and he had given all of his wealth to his son. But all Bear wanted to do was sleep. Not far down the road lived a hare. Although Hare was very clever, he sometimes got into trouble. He had once owned land too, but now he had nothing. He had lost a risky bet with a tortoise and had sold all his land to Bear to pay off the debt. I wonder what he's talking about. The tortoise and the hare, a risky bet. Hare and his family were in very bad shape. The children are so hungry, Father Hare, we must think of something, Mrs. Hare cried one day. So Hare and Mrs. Hare put their heads together and cooked up a plan. The next day, Hare hopped down the road to Bear's house. Bear, of course, was asleep. Hello, Bear, wake up. It's your neighbor. Hare and I have an idea. Bear opened one eye and grunted. We can be business partners, Hare said. All we need is this field right here in front of your house. I'll do the hard work of planting and harvesting, and we can split the profit right down the middle. Yes, sir. Bear, we're in this together. I'll work and you sleep. Said Bear. So what will it be, Bear? Asked Hare. The top half or the bottom half? It's up to you. Tops or bottoms? Let's see, Bear said with a yawn. I'll take the top half, Hare. Right, tops. Hare smiled. It's a done deal, Bear. Okay, remember I said this is a trickster tale. So Bear went back to sleep, and Hare and his family went to work. Hare planted, Mrs. Hare watered, and everyone weeded. Bear slept as the crops grew. When it was time for the harvest, Hare called out, "Wake up, Bear, you get the tops and I get the bottoms." And there are the tops and there are the bottoms. Hare and his family dug up the carrots, the radishes, and the beets. Hare plucked off the tops, tossed them into the pile for Bear, and put the bottoms aside for himself. Bear stared at his pile. But Hare, all the best parts are in your half. You chose the tops, Bear, Hare said. Now, Hare, you've tricked me. You plant this field again, and this season I want the bottoms. Hare agreed. It's a done deal, Bear. So Bear went back to sleep, and Hare and his family went to work. They planted and watered and weeded. Oh, look at that Bear. He's just sleeping. Bear slept as the crops grew. When it was time for the harvest, Hare called out, "Wake up, Bear. You get the bottoms, and I get the tops." Hare and his family gathered up the lettuce, the broccoli, and the celery. Hare pulled off the bottoms for Bear and put the tops in his pile. Bear looked at his pile and scowled. Hare, you cheated me again. But Bear, Hare said, you wanted the bottoms this time. Bear growled. You plant this field again, Hare. You tricked me twice and you owe me one season of both tops and bottoms. You're right, poor old Bear, sighed Hare. It's only fair that you get both tops and bottoms this time. It's a done deal, Bear. So Bear went back to sleep, and Hare and his family went to work. They planted, watered, and weeded, and then watered and weeded some more. Bear slept as the crops grew. When it was time for the harvest, Hare called out, "Wake up, Bear, this time you get the tops and the bottoms." There in front of Bear's house lay a high field of corn. Hare and his family yanked up every corn stalk. Hare tugged off the roots at the bottom and the tassels at the top and put them in a pile for Bear. Then he carefully collected the ears of corn in the middle and placed them in his own pile. Bear rubbed his eyes and watched. See, Bear, you get the tops and the bottoms. I get the middles. Yes, sir, Bear. It's a done deal. By now, Bear was wide awake. That's it, Hare, he hollered. From now on, I'll plant my own crops and take the tops, bottoms, and middles. Hare and his family scooped up the corn and hopped down the road toward the home. Bear never again slept through a season of planting and harvesting. Hare bought his land back with a profit from the crops, and he and Mrs. Hare opened a vegetable stand. And although Hare and Bear learned to live happily as neighbors, they never became business partners again. Okay, so do you understand why this is a trickster tale? Trickster tales always have a moral. So you're going to have to figure out what was the moral of this story. Now we are in my garden and we're going to talk about plants and the tops, the bottoms, and the middles. And here we have some peas. And look what they are. Are they the top, the middle, or the bottom? And as you can see, they're the top. And actually, before they became peas, they were flowers. We're going to look at some of the lettuce too. And I will just eat this for dinner tonight. But we're going to dig up the lettuce. And we see that lettuce is the top also. Here's the roots. And that's a tap root. But we're going to eat the top. And we're going to compost the rest of it. And then we have chives over here. Chives are really easy to grow, and this would be really fun for you to grow. You can see that I've already started harvesting it. So harvesting is when you start picking your plant to eat. And so what I do with my chives, and when these flowers are beautiful, they're not beautiful right now because they're kind of dead. I just cut those off with a scissor, and then I take out these flowers. Now, if you don't put pesticides on your chives, you can eat the whole thing, including the flowers. But these flowers are kind of gone, so I don't want to eat them because they don't taste very good. But when you eat a chive flower, it tastes very oniony, and it's really fun because they're purple, and it's kind of fun to have them in your salad. But I'm taking those out because I don't want to eat them anymore. And then I have chives. You might have had chives on your potatoes. I put them in salads so that for the onion taste, and I'm going to pull out the stems because they're really tough. And then all I'm going to do is just take the chives and cut them like really thin like that. And you can just wash those, cut them up like that, and stick them in on top of your potato or in salads or any kind of recipe that calls for them. So those are middles because we're not really eating the top. We're taking those out and we're using the middles. Now we're going to go over here and we're going to look at the bottoms. Okay, we had peas and lettuce, which are the tops. We had chives, which are the middles. And now we have turnips. And we dug up the turnip, and look at that. We have turnips there, and guess what the turnip is? It is the root, and we eat this purple part right here. Now, some people also eat the turnip greens. So I think they boil them. I've never eaten them, but that's what they do. So that is the bottoms. Now, when we were reading the book, did you notice which root crop was not there on the front page? Idahoans, you should know this. If you don't, go look at your license plate. Maybe you can figure it out. Okay, I want to show you an activity that you can do with tops and bottoms that doesn't really require gardening. It doesn't require dirt or plants, but it's fun nevertheless. There are going to be instructions in the library or online that you can get on how to play this game called Tops and Bottoms. And there's several different ways to play it. So I'm going to just let you print those up or get them at the library and then figure out how many people that will play, and then you can do it. But one thing you have to do is before you play the game is to make the dice. You will need 3 dice, and there you can also get those from the library. And this is what they look like. And you should recognize this from math class. And what are these called when they're flat? So you can make dice out of them, but right now they're flat. You're going to have to do something with them to make dice. So what are those called? You should have learned this in math class. So these are called nets. Okay, so what you do with these is you cut them all out, and you cut every little, don't cut your flaps off because that's what you're going to glue together. You're going to cut on every single one of these little lines, cut them all out, And then everywhere there's a line, you're going to fold. And you're going to fold them all the same way. So I usually fold them back. So you still see the side, some of the lines right there. So see how I folded them. And then when you take you're going to put the glue on the places that say glue. I think it says fold, flap, and glue. So you're going to fold the flap and you're going to glue, and you're going to put that flap on the inside, and then you're going to put it down like that, and you're going to do it on all sides, and you have a dice. And then you have another dice, and you have another one. Now, if you want to shrink them, you can if you want them smaller, but they'll be harder to read. So you have to decide if you want to do that. And I have had kids that actually make these, and then they put plastic tape over them, and so that then they're water resistant. So you might try that too. So what you're going to do is take those dice and you're going to play the game the way that you decided that is best for your family.